If you're drowning in debt and just don't know where to turn, help is available. Attorney Diana Long will help you get your financial situation resolved.
I'm Attorney Diana Long. I'm dedicated to helping hardworking folks just like you. Bankruptcy protection can help you get your financial life back in order, and I can show you how. If you're ready to stop the harassing phone calls and letters, I can help. Call me in Columbia at 442-8123 to schedule your free, no-obligation consultation.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, March the 19th, and I've got a very good friend of mine with us today, Major Kendall Matthews from the Salvation Army. Good to see you, and I think it's been since Christmas, the last time you were on Radio Friends. But you know, I'm glad you're here today because so many times people think of the Salvation Army only around the holidays, from Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving through Christmas Eve. You've got the bell ringers out there and you get that publicity. But the fact is, the Salvation Army is in our community 365 days of the year, and you are helping people 365 days of the year. This year, leap year, 366 days.
360, absolutely right. When we think about people, when we think about our organization, there are homeless people all year round. There are people with empty stomachs all year round, not just during seasonal hunger or seasonal homelessness, but those areas of our society, those areas that sometimes we want to forget about, the poor and the disenfranchised. Sometimes we really don't want to focus in on them, but the reality is they exist in our community.
Exactly. We were talking about this on Radio Friends about a week or so ago. 25, I think I've got the statistics right. 25% of young people do not know where their next meal is coming from.
Yes.
Now that's shocking, and that's very sad.
Yeah, it really is. When we think about people not knowing, we can be filling ourselves up with food and sleeping in our warm bed, but there are starving people.
Yeah.
Just today, we've had opportunity to see people in our shelters who wouldn't otherwise have a place to stay or have a place to eat or have a place to socialize. We've even heard recently that one of the homeless people who stayed in our shelter was recently killed some time ago. Well, if he would have been in our shelter, or if he would have had that opportunity, he might still be alive.
How do you keep from having your heart ripped out when you see somebody come in and they are totally homeless? Maybe they've got their belongings in a trash bag, and they've got a couple of kids with them, or it's a father and a mom and a child. How do you deal with that?
Well, sometimes my heart goes out. I become so filled with the passion and the compassion when I see people like that sometimes it draws a tear to my eye. Sometimes I weep, literally weep over them. I mean, as the administrator, it's my job to make sure that, we're fundraising, that we're, raising the money in the stores, and that our shelters are staying operational, and that we're raising the Red Kettle money, not for Major Matthews, but for the people that we're talking about today. And when I see them come into us pushing a stroller and the baby's nose is running because she has no tissue, I weep. I weep, but then I say, we're here to help you. And as long as we can have a sense of dual helping people, we can have compassion and passion, but we have to have the practical aspect of it. And this community is really supporting what we're doing.
Oh, our community is wonderful. But I think, it is. Our community is outstanding. But I think it's hard for the majority of us to realize what it is really like to be homeless unless you have actually walked in that person's shoes.
That's true. That's true. We can think we know, or we can imagine, or we can have our own thought about homelessness, but until we've traveled that road, until we've sat down and ate with the homeless, or prayed with the homeless, or have said to them, tell me about your situation, then that's when we really only can understand and have empathy or sympathy for them. Right. And they don't want sympathy. They just want somebody to hear them and to understand them and to love them for who they are.
Yes, and perhaps give them just a little boost, a little
booster shot.
Yeah, exactly. And say, hey, you know what? You're okay. You're okay. And you keep plugging away and you're going to make it. And that's what you do. Yeah, you were telling me, and this goes back several years, we're not there to, what is it, to give a handout.
Yes, a hand up.
A hand up.
We don't want to give people a handout. It's easy to give a handout, but we want people, if we give you a handout, we're simultaneously giving you a hand up, because we want you to stand up on your own 2 feet. You may need that bag of food. You may need shelter for 90 days. You may need toys for one Christmas season. That's that hand out, but the hand up is then saying you can do it on your own with a little encouragement from the Salvation Army.
You're wonderful. You're wonderful. You know, I can tell he's looking me right in the eye when he's telling me, and I can tell you're sincere. Yes. You're sincere about it. You're asking people in our community to help not just at Christmas time, but to help all year round. You've got this is a soup and supper club where people can sign up for that. You can make a monthly soup and shelter, and you can sign up and make a monthly donation. And that goes a long way to help.
Absolutely. You know, if there's $5, if there's $10, whatever people can give, these days we make the dollar stretch. As a matter of fact, 85 cents out of every dollar goes towards direct services, go towards our soup, soap, and salvation.
And only 15%.
That's right.
To administrative.
That's
costs.
correct. I wear, the uniform.
Yeah.
I
was reading about charity the other day, and believe me, the Salvation Army is right up at the very, very top. You spend that money wisely, and you're always looking for volunteers too.
Oh yeah, our volunteers working in our thrift stores. We need volunteers. We need volunteers. As a matter of fact, we have began this whole new relationship with helping students to help us with our mission.
Okay.
We got the nursing students involved with what we're doing. We have social work students, counseling students. We're better utilizing MU and the resources there with the student population.
Okay, and there's a lot of them.
Because we need to help them. We need to sensitize our students to help them understand people and to give them a passion to serve people.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, you have that passion jumping right across those radio speakers.
Yeah, well, all right.
For more information, Major Kendall Matthews, they can call what? Salvation Army?
Yeah, 442-3229.
Okay.
That's right here, 573 area code.
Okay, good guy. Good guy. I'm glad you're my friend.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're going to talk about Job Point and parents as teachers. Our program directed by Travis McMillan of the Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio Pat Akers, KBIA. Our floor director is Danny Madison, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. And to watch this or listen to it again, KBIA.org. Click on Talk Shows and Radio Friends. Bye-bye.